Hey everyone, my name is Casey Bang, and today we're going to talk about how to wax skis for the novice or beginner do-it-yourselfer. What we need to start is we need our alpine skis that we're going to wax. We need a rag, or in this case paper towel, to clean them off. We've got 3 different buffs. You can also use a nylon brush. We've got a scraper. This can be either metal or a plastic scraper. You've got your iron. Make sure to always keep it on something, that way it doesn't melt or burn anything that you don't want in trouble. You need a rubber band to help put the ski bindings out of the way. You need your wax that's specific for waxing the skis. Important safety things to always remember when waxing skis is to be cautious of the iron to avoid burns or dripping on things that you don't want to get covered in hot wax. So be aware of your surroundings in that way. Also, always make sure to keep the waxing iron away from flammable materials, and also don't ever leave it plugged in while unattended. Alright, now let's begin waxing the skis. The first step is to make sure you have a good area set up in a good place so that you can wax your skis free from things that are going to get you in trouble. Always make sure it's well ventilated. I'm next to a window here. You can open that up, make sure the fumes get out of here. Also have something to set your skis up on. For today's video, I'm just going to use 2 chairs because we're just doing it at home, right? The second thing we want to do is plug in our iron and get it ready to go. I'm going to move these things out of the way here and put them this side because my outlet's over here. Waxing temperatures will be posted on the wax that you buy. For today, it's going to be around 285 degrees Fahrenheit. Once that's plugged in and turned on, that'll start to heat up and get into melting temperature. Next, we are going to grab our ski. First step, getting it in position right. We want it to be in a nice solid frame so that we can push down on it. We'll be able to scrape and wax our skis effectively. We got to turn it over and get these bindings out of the way so that way they're not holding us up during the waxing process. This is what the rubber band is for. You press down, loop one side, go over the binding and loop the other side. For today's video, I've got skis that can pop up into that position on their own, so we can just put them there like that. And we got a nice surface that we can avoid any waxing problems there. Get a rag, paper towel. We want to wipe down any dirt or debris off of our skis. That way the wax can penetrate the bases properly. Now that our skis are nice and clean and our iron is hot, what you'll want to do is get your wax, remove it from any casing that it has. Now there's a couple ways that you can apply the wax to the ski. One of these is to simply rub it on the iron and let it begin to drip. That is one option. And you don't need a lot, it goes a long ways. What I like to do though is just rub it quickly and then go straight to my ski and spread it out that way. I find that to be the most efficient way to move the wax onto the ski. Our goal here in the beginning is just to spread wax across the ski base. We don't need to worry about getting a perfect layer yet because we're just spreading it out across the base here. On the camera it might be hard to tell, but you can actually see what areas of the ski have wax and do not have wax. It builds a little bit of a film. You want to make sure to cover a good amount of wax all the way across the ski, including the tips and tails. Once the wax is spread across the entire ski, what we want to do now is, starting at one end, we want to slowly work the wax into the base of the ski. You can tell that it's working in and that it's covering all of the base as it darkens and soaks in to the base material. You want to go back and forth and never leave the iron in any one spot to avoid overheating the base of the ski and causing it to warp or melt. You might be able to see on the camera as I do this slowly and work back and forth, it slowly works in that material. Once you've worked the wax from one end all the way to the other and have worked it nice into the ski, what you'll want to do is let the ski sit and cool for about 15 minutes. While we do that, we can work on our other ski and get it ready to go. Now that your second ski is waxed and your first ski's had time to cool down, now we can begin the scraping process. We'll go ahead and unplug our iron since we no longer will be needing that. You'll get your scraper, whether metal or plastic. What you want to do is you want to begin, I prefer at the tip, you could also begin at the tail, but you want to always scrape in one direction This just helps drive the wax into the grains of the ski consistently in one direction, so that way when you're moving in one direction. So we like to begin at the tip, and you just want to do a nice scrape each time. You want to add a little bit of pressure in your hands. As I scrape in this motion, it allows me to effectively remove the wax. As I get close to being finished scraping my ski, I want to make sure I go along the edges, like the edge of my scraper. Because if those are covered in wax, your carving will not be quite as well. Usually just a pass or two does the trick. Once you're finished scraping, what you want to do is start with the buffing process. You're going to start with your gray pad, then your maroon pad, then your white pad, for example here, or if you have a nylon brush, you'll use that. You might have different grades of nylon brushes to do depending on what kit you end up with. When we start, we'll want to start with a nice heavy motion back and forth with our gray pad. And this is for each of the pads. You're just going to back and forth, putting a good amount of pressure. You're trying to remove all the excess wax and also dig the wax deeper into the grooves of the ski. As we buff our ski, you want to have firm pressure back and forth. As we work our way down from the gray one to the maroon one, finishing with the white one. And that's it for waxing skis. Remember, when you wax your skis, you keep them in top performance and they're able to last a lot longer, and you'll be able to enjoy your skiing activities even more.